video, I'm going to be talking about how to learn vocabulary fast. And pretty much for all of you out there, especially if you're learning English as your second language, you are going to need to learn vocabulary, especially if you are preparing for an exam, and even if you're not. So this is something that some students just absolutely hate, and in fact they really struggle with it. But in case you haven't realized, I love vocabulary. I love it, 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 I love it. I love it. I mean it. I love it. Look at half the videos on this site. They're all to do with vocabulary. That's because I am mad about vocabulary. So in today's video, I am going to be going through some of the ways that you can learn it fast. Let's start off with the first one. So my first tip basically is to learn words in groups. Now to some of you, you're already going to be doing this. Good. To others, you should be doing this. What do I mean by this exactly? Well, if you're learning words in groups, it's easier for our tiny little brains to understand them and to remember them. For example, if you want to learn some words about the environment, learn a few of them, like 10 of them, or something like this, like green energy, global warming, pollution, smog, deforestation, erosion. So when your brain saves this information, it all goes into the same place. And also you'll find when you see these words in a test, you'll go, oh, deforestation. Yeah, I remember that. It was something to do with the environment, wasn't it? Because this is how our brains remember things. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Number one, I can't, and number two, I don't want to. Alright, so anyway, this works. Second, number two, learn vocabulary in chunks. And this is kind of similar to the first one, but what I mean by this is, for example, if you're learning a word, learn other words that go with it, like interested. Most of the time is followed by in. So you're interested in football, interested in music, or looking forward to going. Okay, so you can learn grammar like this. You can also learn vocabulary like this, and it works because the only difference between me, a native speaker, and you, a second language learner, is the fact that I know all the chunks, and all I do when I speak is I put all these chunks of vocabulary together. That's what a native speaker is. So this really works. As well as this, you can also learn things like expressions and idioms. Again, that's why I love idioms so much, because it's just such a good way to learn vocabulary. Take this for example, as cool as a cucumber. Now that's really easy to learn because people think, what? Cool as a cucumber? What? Where does that come from? What? That makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know, and to be honest, I really don't know where it comes from. I would guess because they've got so much water in them. Yeah, they're a nice cooling thing. So anyway, you learn the word cool and cucumber. Some people out there will be like, what's a cucumber? Yeah, as in, you know, green thing. We put it in salad. Cucumber, vegetable. Awesome. So and to be cool as a cucumber as well as that means, you know, to be very relaxed. See how much you're learning off one idiom or expression. In fact, this is a simile actually, but anyway. Another one, to be off the beaten track. It's such a great way to learn vocabulary, doing it like this. Alright, this is a very important thing, and I see this a lot. I see students trying to learn pages and pages and pages of vocabulary. And you know what? They're wasting their time. The brain cannot, you know, just compute all that data. It cannot hold all that data. And I would recommend learning words 12 to 16 of them at a time, because this is how the brain can remember them. And yes, don't even say it. My students are going to say, oh well, mister, why do you give us lists of 30? Guys, that's because you are lexical ninjas. Ninjas, I tell you, okay? But 12 to 16 is perfect. all right, and it's a good amount for the brain to actually kind of like hold, I think. But at the end of the day, everyone will learn at different speeds and find a number that suits you. So some people will be able to handle, 30 words, and that's why I include so many words on my vocabulary lists. But if it's 6, then it's 6. If it's 50, then go for it. You really are a lexical ninja, all right? But do whatever makes you happy. Revise regularly. And again, I think this is one of the most crucial points again. You constantly need to revise. Why? Well, because when we learn words, they go into our short-term memory. And what we want to do as language learners is move them from the short-term to the long-term memory. Because when they're in our long-term memory, that's right guys, we start using them again and again. Now, this process isn't instantaneous unless you've got a photographic memory, which, let's face it, most of us don't, all right? So I would say, and again, this varies from person to person. It doesn't mean you're super intelligent or super stupid, whichever, okay? But most of us would need to see a word between 6 and 16 times before it actually becomes part of our vocabulary, till we start using it in our writings, in our speaking, yeah? You have to revise regularly. Now, one of the ways I like doing that, and again, my students will know all about this. Oh yes. I am kind of enthusiastic on flashcards. Just a little bit. Because, as I said, this is a very fast, fun, quick way of learning vocabulary. And as you can see, you can learn lots of it. You have the word on one side, on the other side you have a synonym and a sentence. So you're practicing all your skills. You can have them in a pocket. When you're in the bus, you can just look at them, something like that. Awesome. Flashcards rock. Also, use different methods. So all of us learn in different ways. Most of us will learn in several different ways. Now, I'm not going to go into too much teacher speak here, but we all learn in different ways. Kinesthetic, auditory. So kinesthetic, you learn by moving and doing things. Auditory, by listening. Visual, by seeing. Tactile, by touching. Yeah, you see, so you constantly just learning, maybe you've got a little vocab book and you just sit there and study it every day. Okay, that's fine, but try and mix it up a bit. Do different things. Use flashcards and stuff like that. It really, really works, as I said here. So you can see here, visual, auditory, tactile, lots of different ways of learning. Try and use more than one. It makes the learning more fun and more effective. Don't give up. Now, this is another monster tip here. A lot of people get frustrated. They say, I've looked over these words 2-3 times and, I just can't remember them. Well, remember what I said earlier? 2-3 times isn't enough. You need to be doing all of these methods, revising regularly, doing them in small groups of words, organizing your vocabulary topically, all of this. Keep going. It doesn't matter whether you learn 20 words in a session. If you can, awesome. Even if you learn 3, at least you've achieved something. Yeah? Don't give up. And have fun. Again, a lot of people just get really bogged down. They put a lot of pressure on themselves. They've got to say, I've got to know these words by this time and this time. End of the day, learning anything has got to be fun. Learning English has got to be fun. And do it in a way that is fun for you. If you like writing it out, writing it out. That's not the most exciting thing in the world, is it? Again, I'm going back to my babies. I love my babies. I love flashcards. Flashcards rock. For those of you who don't know this website, Quizlet. Quizlet. Check out Quizlet. It is the most insane resource I have ever seen. The guy is a genius. There are lists of vocabs with pictures, with audio, with games. Everything is there for you, ready. And you know what? It's free. Oh, wow. Quizlet should be popping up somewhere here on the screen. I love Quizlet. It's brilliant. And you know what? Of course, there's lots of videos we've done here, and when I've designed these videos, I try and put the audio in. That's right, you've got me rabbiting on in your ear all the time. We organize the words topically for you, and guess how many words we put in? 8 to 10 per video. A nice amount for you to learn. As well as that, there's lots of movement, there's lots of pictures. These videos are designed to get you learning, and you can do it with mobile phones. You can learn anywhere now. So check out some of our videos. The white ones here are general level vocabulary for anyone. There's proficiency vocabulary as well. There's also test your skills videos that are specifically to do with a house or to do with food or things like that. So anyway, enjoy learning your vocabulary. I hope you do as much as I love teaching vocabulary. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it's useful. Bye for now.